Hey guys, welcome to BENSWORX. On this week's episode, I'm going to take some acrylic perspex and some nails, and I'm going to make an awesome pin art toy. So the first thing I did was I cut my perspex down to the right size, and then I went to my hardware store and I found this air vent. You can also use a speaker grill if you can find one the right size, just as long as you got little holes to use it as a template. The next step was to drill the mounting holes. That way I had some way of fixing it to a piece of wood, so when I drilled all the smaller holes, it didn't move around on me. Just make sure that when you go to screw it down, don't over tighten the screws, otherwise you'll crack the perspex. The drill bit I used for this project was 1.95mm or 5/64. Now make sure that when you go to drill your holes, take your time and make them as straight as possible, otherwise the nails won't sit straight. Some of you might be asking why I just didn't buy two air vents instead of drilling all my own holes, but then what would be the fun in that? This was a marathon process. All up, I ended up drilling 1,925 holes. The next step is to paint one side of the perspex. That way when the nails are in there, they'll easily stand out. It's starting to warm up in the workshop now, so I had to put my fan on. That's what you can hear in the background. The nails I picked up for this project are 40mm by 1.6mm and they're bullet head ones. Just make sure you go for that style and not the flathead, otherwise you can't get them close enough together. It was about now that I realised that when you buy mass-produced products like this, they're often not the same. I had ones that had smaller heads or even no heads at all, and they were just falling straight through. This process just took forever, and I couldn't wait for it to finish. Finally, after 1,925 nails, I was finished. You can see on the bench here how many nails fell through, and I still had a few more to change out, but I was certainly getting there. This was my first little test, and I was really happy with how it felt. The next step was to grind all the sharp points off, so I just put a bit of perspex underneath and clamped it, that way I could grind it all off without the nails falling back down. This probably wasn't the best way of doing it, but it definitely worked out well. Now it's time to put it all together, and for that you'll need two different size spacers, and also a bolt with a nut. Now these sizes all depends on the length of your nails. The tiny spacer goes between these two pieces of perspex, just like this. Now the large spacer goes on top. Just make sure that the length of that spacer isn't longer than your nails. And there we have our finished pin toy. I really love how this one turned out. If you like watching this video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, it really helps me out a lot. You can also check out my Facebook page and my Instagram page. I'll leave links down below of where you can find them. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this voiceover tutorial and whether I should do more in the future. Well, that's all for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed watching this one. I had heaps of fun making it. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll catch you next time.